The sad thing is it doesn't surprise me because so many of these colleges are so liberal, but we have to end up changing this eventually because, it's eventually going to reach a temperature point, which is where we are now, where people are getting killed because of this radical ideology that these people have on the left. And Antifa, I mean, do you feel like to a degree, Antifa has been activated because of the Charlie Kirk shooting? Because I know on the right, we're like, wow, we may see a lot of this Christian revival. All these people are, really waking up, and Charlie Kirk's legacy was so amazing. But do you think there are people who are fans of the crazy things that, Antifa says that this alleged shooter did, and then are, maybe just a few of them then going to act more on this? I mean, that scares me because, right, all these speakers, they feel like, okay, we need more security. Students, I mean, I worry about those people too who live every day around these people. So what do you think about what this has led to?
It's true. I'll just have to say it again. I'll put the analyst hat on, is that there will be copycats to Tyler Robinson. And by the way, Tyler Robinson was in many ways a copycat of Luigi Maggioni. Remember, Luigi Maggioni was the first person to use the tactic of writing words on the bullet casings. That was deny, defund, defend, and which is this phrase that's used in anti private healthcare type rhetoric. It's the name of a book. And he used that. He wrote those on his bullet casings before he shot and killed the CEO of United Healthcare in cold blood on the streets of New York. So again, this is a violent ideology that we're seeing now. The tactics, techniques, and procedures flow between multiple assassins. We also saw the anti-Catholic shooting in Minneapolis, Minnesota, where there was a transgender individual who clearly was wrestling with their own demons, who went and shot up a school full of Catholic children, just while they were attending mass, while they were attending church, and went through the windows. And I don't know if people realize exactly what was happening there. The shooter was standing outside the church, and the way the windows along the side of the church were lined up, that each window, and if you've been to a Catholic church, this is pretty common, where the stained glass window lines up with the pew. So what the shooter was doing was going pew by pew, shooting into rows of children and going down the line one by one by one, killing as many Catholic children as he possibly could. And I remember, reporting on that story as my own kids are in Catholic school. And, of course, we got police security and all the rest of it in the days since. Then, a couple of days after that, we have Charlie Kirk's murder. And so there's absolutely going to be copycats here. The left is getting more violent. The violence will continue. I had the honor of being invited by the president to come and speak on this issue at the White House recently. And he participated in this panel on left-wing violence and the rise of Antifa. And that was the assessment that I said to the commander-in-chief there, that the left is getting more violent, that these assassinations will not stop unless they are stopped on the, first, because this is what we see throughout the entire history of left-wing violent movements, going back 100 years, going back 200 years, even to the French Revolution.